Trustee Garvey.
Here.
Trustee Zalick.
Here.
Trustee Gieser.
Here.
Trustee Fruzzoloni.
Here.
Trustee McCarthy.
Here.
Mayor Savarino.
Please join us in the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We are conducting this meeting of the Mayor and Board of Trustees in accordance with the amended provisions of the Open Meetings Act, the Governor's Disaster Proclamation and Executive Orders. Based upon the most recent disaster proclamation and executive orders, it has been determined that a full in-person meeting is not practical nor prudent at this time. Therefore, this meeting is being conducted in a virtual conference format. I have a motion to approve the minutes of the April 5th, 2021 board meeting.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Trustee Gieser, seconded by Trustee Garvey. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Gieser.
Aye.
Trustee Fruzzoloni.
Abstain.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye. Do I have a motion for the approval of the minutes of the April 5th, 2021 special workshop meeting?
So moved. Second.
Moved by Trustee Zalick, seconded by Trustee Garvey. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Gieser.
Aye.
Trustee Fruzzoloni.
Abstain.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye. We have a number of proclamations during the listening post today. We're going to start out with the Dupage Organic Garden Club 50th anniversary, and that's going to be read by Trustee Rick Gieser.
Very good. Thank you very much. The Dupage Organic Garden Club 50th anniversary. Whereas organic gardening is the process of gardening in harmony with nature, such as avoiding synthetic fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides, or other disruptors of the natural ecosystem. And whereas Jan Smith founded the Dupage Organic Garden Club on Earth Day in 1971, and whereas this club has educated many residents on ways to take good care of the earth and our community through online blogs and classes, and whereas through education, advocacy, events, and regular meetings, the Dupage Organic Garden Club has improved our local ecosystem, and whereas the village encourages residents and the general public to participate in environmental efforts in observance of this anniversary and Earth Day, now therefore be it proclaimed that the Board of Trustees of Carroll Stream, Dupage County, Illinois, in the exercise of its home rule powers, does hereby proclaim Thursday, April 22nd, as Organic Gardening Day in Carroll Stream, and encourages all residents and businesses to observe this 50th anniversary using organic gardening methods. And I'd just like to mention that Jan Smith and members of the Organic Gardening Club are here. If it's all right, I'd like
Jan, would you like to come up and maybe plug the Organic Garden Club for a moment?
Any of the other garden club members also would like to join her and support her? And then when you're done, why don't we take a picture with everyone?
Beautiful.
There you go. Thank you. And then, would you like to say a word or two, anyone?
I would. Can I?
Yes.
Yes.
I've been vaccinated. That's beautiful. Whoever wrote that, you, Rick? Or
Yeah?
Very nice. Thank you. 50 years, it's hard to believe. I started the club in my own living room, and it grew, and now we have our meetings when they're not, well, at the Carroll Stream Public Library, so we really can reach out so well on the first Thursday of the month. Now they're on Zoom, so hopefully we can get together before too long again. But I want to say in 50 years, it's changed a lot. 50 years ago, organic gardening was not really respected. But I read the book by Rachel Carson, Silent Spring, which inspired me to garden organically. So a lot has changed, and we're really thrilled that so many more people are looking for ways to live and garden organically. So and the club has expanded, and with the virtual, that even helps add more people to attend. So thank you very much for recognizing us and all my wonderful friends.
Well, happy 50th anniversary.
We have more friends, but they should.
Do we have them come up here and do a picture, do it in the front, or how?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, you guys, can you stand in front and we'll try to either get in between? Just it keeps a separation so we can have a picture.
Yeah, stay in the middle, we can
And we'll,
see in between.
Tia will tell us where to go. Literally.
Smile.
You know what, Trustee Geezer, can I get you to move just a little bit this direction?
Only behind the tall guy?
Just
There you go.
be like 2 inches in. Okay, there you go. One, two, three. We'll do one more. 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
again, happy anniversary. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Gail. Thanks.
Moving right on with some proclamations, Trustee Zalick is asked to read the observing 2021 Earth Day. Trustee Zalick.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem McCarthy. Proclamation observing 2021 Earth Day. Whereas the first Earth Day was held on April 22nd, 1970, and was observed by millions of Americans to increase national awareness of the environmental hazards and public health efforts of unchecked industrial pollution. And whereas the observance of Earth Day over the years has led to the creation of the Environmental Protection Agency, the adoption of the Clean Water and the Endangered Species Act, a global ban on the use of the dangerous insecticide DDT, and the establishment of residential and commercial recycling programs worldwide, to name a few of the major accomplishments. And whereas the village has been recognized for its strong commitment to sustainability and environmental protection by the Illinois Recycling Association, SCARCE, S-C-A-R-C-E, and the Dupage Conservation Foundation, the U.S. Department of Energy, and the DuPage County Department of Economic Development and Planning. And whereas the village encourages residents and the general public to participate in any of the upcoming environmental efforts in observance of this year's Earth Day. 1, make a pledge to dispose of pet and yard waste properly, protecting local waterways. 2, the pond and stream sweep on Saturday, May 15th from 9 a.m. till noon. Or 3, a 24/7 prescription drug take-back box at the prescription drop box located in the police department lobby at 500 North Geary Avenue. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that Mayor Pro Tem Matt McCarthy and the Carroll Stream Board of Trustees, DuPage County, Illinois, in the exercise of its home rule powers, does hereby proclaim Thursday, April 22nd, Earth Day, in Carroll Stream, and encourages all residents and businesses to observe the 51st Annual Earth Day by acting locally in the community in support of our environment. Proclaim this day, April 2021.
Thank you, sir. Moving right along, and our proclamation for Arbor Day, Trustee Frusaloni asked to read it.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. Proclamation for Arbor Day. Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees, and whereas this holiday, called Arbor Day, was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska, and whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world, And whereas trees can reduce the erosion of most precious topsoil by wind and water, cut heating and cooling cost, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce life-giving oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are a renewable resource, giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. And whereas trees in our village increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the mayor and the board of trustees of the village of Carroll Stream that April 30th, 2021 be known as Arbor Day in the village of Carroll Stream. And all residents are called upon to celebrate Arbor Day by supporting efforts to plant trees and to protect our trees and woodlands to promote the well-being of this and future generations.
Thank you, Trustee Fusiloni. And our last proclamation in support of pollinator habitats, our Trustee Garvey asked to read that.
Proclamation in support of pollinator habitats. Whereas the Village of Carroll Stream's Comprehensive Plan, June 2016, includes recommendations for increasing open space and promoting environmental sustainability. And whereas the village recognizes the benefits of using native plantings, including the ability to stabilize pond shorelines and stream banks, to retrofit areas of turf grass that are poorly drained, and to reduce traditional maintenance costs such as mowing, fertilizing, pesticide, and irrigation. And whereas the pond shoreline at the northwest corner of Lees Road and Gary Avenue, an open area managed by the village, was certified by Monarch Watch as an official Monarch way station. And whereas the village's municipal code promotes landscaping with native plantings on private property, including its incorporation in the best management practices of new development. And whereas the North American monarch butterfly, an iconic pollinator species, has been adopted by the Dupage Monarch Project as a symbol of the loss of habitat and migration corridors. And whereas the Illinois Monarch Project is developing a statewide monarch conservation plan calling for 150 million new stems of milkweed, the plant needed by monarchs to lay their eggs. And whereas other DuPage County units of government and local organizations have become signatories and associates of the DuPage Monarch Project to support its mission to provide education about monarchs and to increase the amount of suitable monarch habitat throughout DuPage County. And now therefore be it proclaimed that I, Mayor Pro Tem Mccarthy, and the Board of Trustees of Carroll Stream, in the exercise of its homeroom powers, do hereby proclaim the village's support of the DuPage Monarch Project's mission to increase pollinator habitat, that it will seek to improve pollinator habitat, and it will promote education about pollinators to urge private property owners to use appropriate habitat, as well as other environmental concepts in their own landscaping. Proclaimed this 19th day of April 2021.
Thank you, Trustee Garvey. Do we have any addresses from the audience of people who are here? I believe so. You will need to say your name and address.
Sure. I can take this off, right?
Yes.
Okay. My name's Stephanie Merkel. I live at 462 Natoma Circle, which is right over there. And I just came to talk about the experiment that's being done by the Park District about removing trash cans in smaller neighborhood parks. I know that the Park District and the village operate separately, but I also understand that, all of you are residents of Carroll Stream and you're here in public service, obviously because you care about what's happening in the village. And it just, they've done this experiment once before. They did it a couple years ago. The can was gone. And obviously more litter accumulated, and we were able to put, I think after a few social media posts and phone calls, we got our can back. And now it's gone again, and we're being told now that it's because of the pandemic and they have to, reduce costs and things like that. But, one, nothing was communicated to the residents. The can was just gone. When things happen with the village, like trees or sewer work or things like that, we get some advance notice of that. Nothing was discussed with us. And I think, especially like a neighborhood park like Tokarski Park, it's a little different than like an Armstrong or a Hampy. I mean, it's a cul-de-sac, there are 8 houses, and when I look out my front yard, you know, that's my view, the park. And so, you know, when there's trash in the park, you know, it's not the best thing to look at. It's a small park, but it's well utilized by a lot of kids in the neighborhood. They're, you know, kids don't walk to McCaslin and play. You know, they're walking over here to play. And, you know, even with a trash can, I'll admit, kids are kids, right? And even when there's a trash can there, we all know it doesn't always make it into the can. But for the most part, the kids are they're good about it. My neighbors and I are good about it. You know, if we see trash, we're gonna pick it up and throw it in the can. But, you know, now we don't even have that option. You know, this weekend there were 2 bags of pet waste left on the grass where the can used to be. I don't know if people think I don't know what, you know, that's about, but I had to call the park district and they have to send someone out to pick it up. So it just seems counterproductive. I'm not exactly sure what they're trying to accomplish. Well, I know what they're trying to accomplish, but it just seems like everybody has a vested interest in parks being clean and looking nice. And, you know, especially in that setup with like Dekarsky Park, or I think it's Memorial Park, that little one on Thunderbird. It's in the middle of the neighborhood where people live. And I consider that my neighbor. And the same way, I expect my neighbor to be maintaining their property. You know, I mean, I would expect if I wasn't cutting my grass or my lawn was full of garbage, I would hear from the village that I'm not maintaining my property. And so I feel as a neighbor, the park district has a similar responsibility to do that.
And we appreciate you coming in, and we all do care about the village as a whole. From what I understand, this is not really COVID-related, why they pulled them out.
Well, they
This is a
told me that's
national-
why.
This is a national program through the Parks Association that they're trying to teach, if you bring it, take it, whether I agree with it or not.
Well, and so that's what they said when they tried it 2 years ago, that we were gonna try it, you know, they do it in Denver and all that, but I think part of, you know, I have relatives that live in Denver, I've been to Denver. This is not Denver. Most people that live in Denver are out there because they're out there for the environment, they're out there to engage pretty substantially, right? Biking, hiking, water, whatever they're doing all that stuff, and they're actively trying not to produce waste, right? You know, when they go to the park, they're walking or biking, and they have their Camelback backpack or reusable water bottle in their reusable containers. You know, here we get the kids walking over from Rosati's and 7-Eleven to come to the park, which is awesome, that's what it's there for. But they're bringing their Big Gulp or their Slurpee and their pizza, and they're not taking it with them, right? And, you know, to your point about, you know, there's supposed to be an education campaign, the can's been gone a month. There's no education campaign that I've seen other than one blog post buried on the Park District website about take it with you.
And as you understand, you know, we are separate, but our staff can absolutely send the message that you're giving us to the park staff to let them know that there is absolutely some people who don't agree with it. Now, the only thing I can encourage is getting a group of people to go to a park board meeting.
Yeah, I
That's where it's gonna-
I went on Monday, and I am gonna try and get some more. I mean, it was kind of short notice. I looked to see when the next meeting was, and it was like the next day.
Right.
So I am gonna try and do that, as well. You know, I was also told at that board meeting, it was not a full board approval. One person made the decision to go ahead with this experiment, as they're calling it. When I asked how they're measuring the success, like how are we gonna know if this is working? They have no metric. They're relying on, their metric was, we're gonna ask the park workers what the park looks like, you know, when they're out there picking up trash. So, I mean, am I just supposed to let the litter? Because if they're driving around looking to see if the park is dirty, our park's not.
Yeah, because the wind blows it all onto your guys' property.
Or, when I see it, I'm going out and I'm picking it up because I don't want it in the street or on my property. So if they're thinking they're just gonna see a bunch of trash piling up, I mean, that's not what's gonna happen. So I'm unclear how we're measuring whether this is working. The other thing is they're not doing this at McCaslin or Hampy or Armstrong. They're doing it at these small neighborhood parks. And when I asked if this is successful, are we talking about removing trash cans at every park, including parks like McCaslin? And I was told no, because people who use McCaslin pay a lot of money to use that park, and that part of that comes with staff to pick up trash. And I told them that my neighbors and I pay what we feel is a significant amount of money to the park district, so are you saying that I deserve less service? And I was told that I was putting words in this person's mouth. I'm like, well, you just told me what gets cleaned up at McCaslin is people pay to use that park for tournaments and things like that. And unfortunately, we can't sponsor a tournament in our park. And if you're going to ask people who use other parks to take it with them, I don't know why that's any different than make it part of your contract that tell people when they come to McCaslin that this is an environmentally conscious village and we believe in you garbage in, garbage out, and take it with you.
We will make sure your message gets passed from our staff to the park.
I appreciate that.
But I do encourage you to get your neighbors to go.
Oh, don't worry, we
village
will.
Board meeting. Park board meeting.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Nobody else from the audience here. Clerk Schwarzy, do we have any electronic?
We do have one electronic comment. It's from August Peyton Jones, and it was dated April 8th for the April 19th Village Board meeting. Help save our pets and children. On April 5th, I went on my usual walk with my dog Oreo and BJ. If I had any idea of what was about to happen, I would never have gone out for a walk. Their playtime went as normal. We met a new pup friend, and everyone was happy. It wasn't until I was walking back to my car the unthinkable occurred. My little dog BJ and my big dog Oreo started to act weird. As I looked to the left of me, there was a coyote. Being new to the area, I didn't hear much about coyotes being near that area. I mostly hear of them being near another area that I had stopped visiting. As the coyote drew itself closer to me, my dogs began to bark. I thought, okay, I have to try to make as much noise as I can. I started to yell at the top of my lungs. I threw my water bottle and a few sticks we'd taken to the dog park, but didn't seem to work. I gauged how close I was to get back to the gate of the dog's play area. I didn't want to run, as this could cause the animal to chase me, and I have a smaller, older dog. I couldn't tell if he could keep up. As I pulled my dog close, I saw the coyote start to run. I rushed to try to pull my small dog from off the ground, since I would have been able to carry him. As the coyote was about to attack, my little dog snatched off his leash and started to growl at the coyote to keep it at bay, and then the coyote attacked him. The coyote snatched my poor dog off the ground and ran off to some tall grass on the side of the dog park. All I could do was yell and scream and cry as I called 911. I heard my dog yell as the coyote attacked him in the tall grass for 10 minutes. I listened to his screams. I tried calling his name, hoping that by some miracle he could escape. I had no weapon. The police told me to stay in one place and use the light on my phone to see if I could see the coyote. As it got quiet, I noticed something looking at me in the tall grass, its glowing eyes watching me as I paced back and forth, waiting for local authorities. BJ lost his life that day. As I think of all the ways I could have done more, did something different, ran after something. I could hardly see. We were able to find his body. However, they're no closer for me. 8 years he has been there for me. 8 years of teaching him to trick and eating snacks together. I feel as if I abandoned him. I feel responsible for his death. Today, April 6th, 2021, I have spent time on the phone calling around to see if I could find a way to get lights in the dog park and possibly a 911 phone station on each end of the trail, as they have on college campuses. This is the complete removal of all the tall grass, which makes it good to hunt coyotes and other prey animals. This attack happened next to a dog park. Not only that, but a children's play area is nearby. I need Carroll Stream to step up. You create these walking paths and play areas for animals and kids, but they are not well lit. They are also secluded in ways. I get it that coyotes attack, it is their nature, but this was not normal. It watched and waited, then tried to attack for a second time. This coyote has done this before. What's next? If the coyote was that brave to wander up to being less than 6 feet away, what else is it capable of? Yesterday, I lost a friend. Today, I'm fighting for changes to my community for him and others. I feel helpless. I will figure out how to get the coyote removed, but we need light near our park and police tower phones. What if this was a child? Please help me in getting this addressed. From August Peyton Jones, 576 Red Hill Trail, Carroll Stream.
Thank you. And, Bob, we've had some, we did reach out to Peyton.
That's correct.
And we've also had a conversation with the Park District about possible fixes.
Yes, we had a meeting last week, staff did with Park District staff regarding coyotes at certain parks, specifically the Bark Park and Red Hawk Park. And the Park District is going to be taking measures to cut the grasses lower out there to remove some of the hiding places for coyotes. And they'll be taking other measures to address the coyote issue.
Okay. Thank you, I appreciate that. Okay, next on the agenda is, we actually have we do have a public hearing. Mr. Attorney, anything you need to state on, before we open the public hearing? Okay. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing for our 21-22 budget?
So moved?
Second.
Moved by trustee Gieser, seconded by trustee Garvey. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Gieser.
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
In your packets, there is a copy of a notice of public hearing that was published in the April 7th, 2021 edition of the Examiner of Carroll Stream. Thank you. Which indicated that on today's date, at 6 p.m., the village board would conduct a public hearing with respect to the fiscal year 21-22 annual budget of the village of Carroll Stream. Also provides information with respect to written comments that can be provided prior to this hearing, and also that individuals can provide oral comments should they wish to at the board meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have any questions or comments for our budget? None from the audience. Do we have any electronically?
No, we have not received any electronic comments.
Okay, we do have no comments on either side, so I will take a motion to close the hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee Frusaloni, seconded by trustee Zalick. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Gieser.
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye. Hearing is now closed. Is there a motion to establish a consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee Frusaloni, seconded by trustee Zalick. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Gieser.
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye. And I hand this over to you, Clerk Forsy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. Board and Commission reports. Plan Commission Zoning Board of Appeals, 21-0010, Village of Carroll Stream, 500 North Gary Avenue, Zoning Code Test Amendment, Unified Development Ordinance, recommended approval 6-0 with one member absent. No village board action requested. Approval ordinance will be brought forward on May 3rd, 2021. 21-0011, Village of Carroll Stream, 500 North Gary Avenue, zoning map amendments associated with Unified Development Ordinance, recommended approval 6-0 with one member absent. No village board action requested. Approval ordinance will be brought forward on May 3rd, 2021. Staff reports and recommendations. A contract for truck rehabilitation services to Henderson Products under Sourcewell Contract Number 080818-HPI in the amount of $77,588.25 pursuant to the provisions of Section 5-8-3B and subsection 5-8-14L of the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances.
Yes.
Yes.
Approval of the purchase of rock salt from Compass Minerals America, Inc. in accordance with terms and conditions as established under DuPage County Bid Number 20-035-DOT and in an amount not to exceed $205,665 pursuant to the provisions of Sections 5-8-3B and 5-8-14L of the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances.
Yes.
Yes.
Recommendation to waive formal bidding requirements and approve the purchase of one Ford Explorer from Joe Cotton Ford in the amount of $31,848.
Yes.
Yes.
Award of a bid to Bowler Construction Company for construction of the WRC dewatering system replacement project in the amount of $1,977,000.
Yes.
Yes.
Award of a contract for front entrance rehabilitation at the Public Works Center Administration Building to F.H. Passion, S.N. Nielsen, in the amount of $159,980.17 pursuant to the provisions of Section 5-8-3B and subsection 5-8-14K of the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances.
Yes.
Yes.
An agreement for professional services with CH2M Hill, also known as Jacobs Engineering, for the WRC SCADA system replacement project in an amount not to exceed $237,000.
Yes.
Yes.
Award of contract with Trans Systems Corp. For professional services to provide Phase 1 and Phase 2 engineering for the Fair Oaks Guardrail Slope Stabilization and Culvert Repair Project at a cost not to exceed $136,222 pursuant to the provisions of Sections 5-8-3B and 5-8-14A of the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances.
Yes.
Yes.
Award of contract for the 2021 Flexible Pavement Project to Brothers Asphalt Paving, Inc. in the amount of $1,993,092.98.
Yes.
Award of a contract for construction of a multi-purpose training room to Ephraim Carlson and Sons in the amount of $108,800.
Yes.
Ordinances. An ordinance authorizing the transfer of budget amounts between various accounts within the annual budget of the Village of Carroll Stream for the fiscal year ending April 30th, 2021.
Yes.
That is ordinance number 2021-04-11. An ordinance adopting the annual budget of the Village of Carroll Stream in the amount of $59,138,631 for the fiscal year 21-22 fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2021, and ending April 30th, 2022.
Yes.
Yes.
That is ordinance number 2021-04-12. Ordinance amending Chapter 11, Article 2 of the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances by increasing the number of Class A liquor licenses from 14 to 15 for Tacoma Taco and Enchilada Grill, Incorporated, located at 105 Stark Drive.
Off.
All right, that has been pulled off the consent agenda. Ordinance amending Chapter 11, Article 2 of the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances by increasing the number of Class A liquor licenses from 15 to 16 for Masters Pancake House, Incorporated, doing business as Mapleberry Pancake House, located at 1276 Coon Road.
Off.
That is also pulled off the consent agenda. Resolutions. Resolution adopting the 2021-22 Employee Compensation Plan for the Village of Carroll Stream.
Yes.
Yes.
That is resolution number 3183. Resolution declaring surplus property owned by the Village of Carroll Stream.
Yes.
Yes.
That is resolution number 3184. Payment of bills. Regular bills, April 6, 2021 through April 15th, 2021.
Yes.
Yes.
Addendum warrants, April 6th, 2021 through April 15th, 2021.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Treasurer's report, revenue expenditure statements and balance sheet for the month ended March 31st, 2021.
Received.
Received.
And that concludes the consent agenda items.
Is there a motion to put those items on the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second?
Moved by trustee Zalick, seconded by trustee Frusaloni. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Giesers.
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye. Is there a motion to approve those items by omnibus vote?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee Giesers, seconded by trustee Garvey. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Giesers.
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye. Okay, we do have two off the agenda or off the consent agenda, and actually, it was just asked that we vote on them separately. There's no comment. So if anybody would like to make a motion one at a time,
I will make a motion to approve the
I3.
liquor license for I3.
A second.
Moved by trustee Frusaloni, seconded by trustee Zalick. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Garvey.
Abstain.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Giesers.
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye. And we have one more that's, we need to vote on.
I'll move that we approve I4.
Second?
Moved by trustee Giesers, seconded by trustee Frusaloni. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Garvey.
Abstain.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Giesers.
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye. Thank you very much.
Just for clarification, item I3 will be ordinance number 2021-04-13, and I4 will be ordinance number 2021-04-14.
Thank you, Mr. Mueller. All right, report of officers. Trustee Garvey.
All right. I think this is the first meeting we've had since the election. So I want to be the first to officially congratulate trustee McCarthy, trustee Giesers on your reelection.
Thank you.
Looking forward to continue working with you. And I want to congratulate Mr. Berger, who's here, who did win election. Looking forward to working you as well. I want to welcome the new police officer, who I believe was sworn in today, but I don't see him here, so he's probably off to the academy, correct, Chief?
Not quite yet. He's got a couple of weeks in-house, but he was sworn in this morning.
Okay. So I'll congratulate Ethan Finson and also the community service technician Lou Estrada on her 28 years of service. I won't be able to be here Wednesday for her party, but I know how difficult it can be to serve one place for 28 years. It takes a lot of loyalty and commitment, so I congratulate her. And I also wanted to just say that I'm happy to see that the vehicle that we approved tonight for purchase for the operations superintendent was purchased from a local dealer. That's a good sign for Joe Cotton Ford. So, and that's the end of my report.
Thank you very much. Trustee Zalick.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem McCarthy. I have a very similar report as I also want to congratulate you for your reelection and Rick Giesers for his reelection. Jeff, thank you for taking the time and energy to help make Carroll Stream great. Also, Julia, congrats.
Thank you.
I know it seems like you've already been doing it, but actually this is your first election that you won, so I appreciate your time and energy. And I also want to thank Eric for putting his time and energy, even though he didn't win. Everybody ran a really, really clean campaign. And finally, Lou Estrada. I worked with Lou on the police force for many, many years. her energy towards animal bites and licenses, and if any officer had a question on animal bites and all the paperwork to fill out, you can call her at home. I mean, she was great. So, Lou, I know congratulations. You're gonna enjoy retirement and your next chapter of your life. So, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Zalick. Trustee Giesers.
Thank you very much. I would like to congratulate Jan Smith and the Dupage Organic Garden Club on their 50th anniversary. We read a proclamation earlier. 50 years of any organization is an amazing achievement. And as Jan mentioned during during her conversation with us, is that it started slow and people didn't respect it, and little by little by little, residents, the community in general, the village, have begun to accept a lot of the things that they were proclaiming and teaching back then. In fact, I mean, we've read 4 proclamations that were environmentally concerned today. So congratulations to Jan and the Organic Garden Club. Trustee Frusaloni read a proclamation about Arbor Day. I mention this every year, but I'll do it again because I think it's kind of important and kind of interesting at the same time. Carroll Stream has a connection to Arbor Day. J. Sterling Morton, who created Arbor Day in Nebraska, he had 2 sons, Jay Morton and Mark Morton. Or Joy Morton and Mark Morton. Joy went on to create the Morton Arboretum, and Mark Morton built a palatial Georgian estate at the intersection of North Avenue and Morton Road in Carroll Stream called Morton Manor. So,
and it was haunted.
Morton Road is a remnant of that history. And it was a family, trees were a family interest. When he bought the land in 1930 and built the house in 1931, it was a barren, basically, field. He put in hundreds of thousands of trees throughout the property and throughout the area. So a lot of the trees, many of the trees probably that we see and don't even really know about, are the responsibility of Mark Morton and their family's interest in trees and Arbor Day. So that is my report today, so thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Giesers. Trustee Frusaloni.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It is great to be on the board with you guys at least another 2 years. Well, I mean, I got 2 years till my next election, so. To our new trustee, Jeff Berger, congratulations. Julia, congratulations to you. You're doing a fantastic job, by the way. I just want you to know that. This board prides itself on being agreeable, but not always agreeable, but respectful to each other. And I think regardless of who had won the election, we would still be seeing that on our board. I want to thank Eric Crawford. He ran a great campaign. Jeff, you ran a great campaign. It is very difficult when you've got great candidates that are running for election. I wish we could have made a resolution and adopted it so that all you guys could be on the board, because I think you guys both would do an amazing job on the board. So thank you for giving back to our community. And next meeting, you'll be sitting up here with us. So hope you're doing your homework.
Actually, he'll probably be down there.
Oh, yeah, but we're going to call on you first to vote, so just make sure you're doing your homework. I want to say congratulations to our newest police officer. It was nice to stop in this morning and to meet Ethan Finson's parents and his family. It's always great to see a police officer that's sworn in, but it's great to see the family that supports the police officers when they're being sworn in. Very, very proud parents. And that is just great to see, especially in the environment right now and the challenges that the police are having. So welcome to Ethan. I know he's going to do a great job. He's very excited to be part of the Carroll Stream Police Department. We have this little weather event that's going to potentially take place tomorrow. I'm not going to say the S word, Phil, but I just want to make sure that just in case you guys did put those pee things back onto the trucks today, right? Because I'm pretty sure we took the plows off at this point, and I'm sure now that you guys spent the whole day getting ready for hopefully a non-weather event tomorrow. But if you could just give an update, because it's rare that we get a snow event this late in April where we get an accumulation potentially. So I just want to ask, are we ready?
We're ready with all the salt spreading equipment is still available.
Good.
We've been monitoring the weather. Our weather service is calling for no more than a total accumulation of 0.5 of 1 inch.
Nice.
When it may snow, the rate of accumulation will be very, very minimal.
Good.
And the pavement temperature during the day will be high 50s to high 60s. So I don't anticipate it.
Perfect. Perfect. That lends into tomorrow, we are going to be hosting our second dose vaccination event at Fountain View. And just to remind residents that have appointments, your appointment time is the same as your appointment time was in March when you got your, I had to think what month we were in, when you got your first dose. I want to say congratulations to our staff. It was a great event. I've literally hosted countless events when I worked for the Park District for thousands of people, and this was a great event. From every one of our staff members that jumped in every single department, and that was what was cool, because we never get to see all of the village staff pretty much in one place at one time. It was nice to see the departments coming together and talking to each other, because they don't always get to see each other. Public Works did an amazing job out in the parking lot. The police department did an amazing job. Our CERT volunteers, traffic volunteers, did an amazing job. The Park District staff, this library staff and their board was there as well. This really was a true community effort. I had the honor of being at the very front of the line and kind of directing people as to kind of giving them a lay of the land of what they were going to be doing, and everyone was so thankful, very complimentary. It was remarkably smooth, so that's why I asked about that weather thing, because I'm sure that the Public Works guys would much rather be helping at the event tomorrow than having to worry about, any kind of salt event that we might have. And lastly, I want to say a very happy birthday to my son. This is the first time in 10 years that I've been at a board meeting for one of my kids' birthdays. And I want to say actually thank you to my son, Dominic. As the youngest, he's probably sacrificed the most. And when I said, buddy, I got a board meeting on your birthday, he's like, that's fine. Mom, I know you got to do that. It's what you have to do. It's not a problem. We'll wait to do birthday cake, when you get home from your meeting. And I appreciate, and I know you guys, your families put in a lot of time and effort, as much as everybody's family does. But just thank you for the sacrifices that are made. As I did his Facebook post today, thanking him for letting me be his mom, which is not easy for a teenager. The pictures that I chose show a lot of Dominic giving so much of himself to Carol Stream, and that's what makes me very proud of my family. My son and I are part of a group out of Glenbard North High School called Young Men's Service League. It's moms and sons that volunteer together, and it's been really remarkable the last 3 years to watch him grow up in that organization. So I'm going to give them a little plug, because it's the time of the year where we recruit moms and sons. So if there's any 8th grade or freshman moms and sons that want to volunteer within Carol Stream, it's a great organization. One of the biggest events that we do is actually the pond cleanup, so glad to see that it's coming back this year. Christmas sharing is another huge event that YMSL is very, very, very involved in. So I just want to say happy birthday to Dominic, and thank you for everything that my family does while I get to sit up here and do what I need to do. So with that, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I will end my report.
Thank you, Trustee Frusaloni. To our clerk and clerk-elect, Julia Schwarzy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. So I just wanted to say I'm so thrilled to see all these proclamations about environmental initiatives. Recycling and gardening are both near and dear to my heart. And I just want to share a real little story about something that my daughter and I tried this year. Normally, I buy the peat pots to plant my seeds in before I transplant in the garden. This year, we decided to try using old toilet paper rolls that had been emptied off. So instead of just throwing those in recycling, we actually cut them up and we're able to make pots out of them, which is wonderful. The seedlings are growing awesome. The beans are this high, peppers here, tomatoes here, and the cucumbers are about here. So the nice thing about it is that we can, once the danger of frost has passed, which is typically May 15th in this zone 5, we can plant those little toilet paper rolls right into the garden and they will biodegrade. They're good for the compost, they're good for the soil, and it's just a great way, a great way to save some money on the peat pots and great way to recycle. And I thought it was a great lesson for my daughter, who's a senior in college right now. She'll be graduating soon. She volunteers at Teen Bridge Center down in Orland Park for teens who need after-school activities, and she's in charge of coming up with some of the activities. So this is one of the activities that she's going to do with them for Earth Day, to plant some bean seeds in the toilet paper roll. So I thought that was a really cool thing. And then secondly, about regarding the Dupage Monarch project, I love monarchs, and last summer I was shopping Carroll Stream at Lowe's, and I saw tons of butterfly bushes for sale, and they were just swarming with monarchs. It was the most beautiful thing I ever saw. So of course I had to buy a couple plants, put them next to my mailbox. I'm hoping they come back this year, but just kind of a reminder to please, everyone try to plant native plants where you can, and of course shop Carroll Stream.
Thank you very much. Our village attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. Just a couple of items. July 1st will be the new budget year for the state of Illinois. And if any of you have seen the governor's budget report, you know that the governor is suggesting that local governments take another hit to the local government distributive fund, which is a portion of the state income tax that has been earmarked for local governments for 30-something years. The state legislature likes to shore up its own budget with playing back and forth with the amount of money that local governments get from that local government distributive fund. So this year again, the governor is suggesting that the local governments will take another hit. I think that's pretty incredible given the state of affairs for most local governments with respect to the pandemic. But if anybody believes that the state of Illinois should not try to solve its budget problems by taking money away from local government, I would recommend that you send a letter to your local legislator suggesting that the state of Illinois should keep the local distributive fund the way it at least has been for last year. There are sample letters that you can take a look at on the Illinois Municipal League website that you can send to the local legislators. So I would strongly suggest that anybody who's interested certainly do that. It's important that your legislators hear from actual people, not necessarily just from the government as a whole. Local government doesn't vote, but the people in that local government certainly do, and they can have an impact. And then my second is just a congratulations to all of the officials who were newly elected or who have now been reelected to another term. Look forward to working with you again for another term. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Our village manager, Bob Moore.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem McCarthy. Just one item. I know there was a lot of people that signed up for the mass vaccination event with the Village of Carroll Stream. Unfortunately, some people weren't able to schedule an appointment. So if you missed that opportunity, we were notified last week that Carroll Stream Family Pharmacy on Army Trail Road will be administering 200 doses of the Moderna vaccine this Friday, the 23rd, from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. So if you're interested in that, you should contact Wayne Township Senior Center, who's coordinating the appointments at 630-231-7155, or call the pharmacy at 630-213-0800. The second dose of that will occur on May 21st. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. A couple of things. Again, thank you to everybody who's involved in our vaccine event, Part 2. I know well over 30% of our staff goes and works it. I would guess the Park District probably runs about the same, and the library, and as it's been mentioned, everybody else who jumped in to make this a true community event. So I do want to thank everybody for that. And again, your basic time is when your time was on the first one. Show up around the same time tomorrow for your second one. Your lawn, your yard waste, you can now start putting that out with stickers. That started last Monday, so you are able to start doing that. The election, Jeff Berger, congratulations, welcome aboard. Eric Crawford, you did a great job, and I ask you to stay involved. Don't walk away now, because I think you can be a benefit to all of us. So stay involved and find a way to do it. Rick, congratulations.
Thank you, man.
I had a pretty good week last week. I was honored to be reelected on Tuesday, and then on Friday, our grandbabies were born. So Dean Matthew and Madison Jean. Dean's just under 6 pounds, and Madison's just over 5. They're already home and healthy with Tim and Shannon, so everything's going well. Had a little bit of a scare on Friday with Shannon, but all is good. So now we go to the fun part. We get to give them back when we're done, and Tim and Shannon can deal with them. I had the honor of swearing in Ethan Finson today as police officer, and it's a tough decision to become a police officer right now. No matter how you feel about what's going on in the world, everybody's crosshairs are right on our cops, every single one of them in every single location. So for somebody to step up, and we have many of them, to step up and want to serve, that says a lot about somebody. And congratulations and welcome to the family. Chief, it looks like you picked him up from high school. He looked like he was about 16. But congratulations. Lou Estrada, congratulations on your retirement, except for I had a word with her on Friday. She's not really retiring. Lou went back to school, and as she told me, she gets to do what she's always wanted to do. She's going to become a social worker for first responders. And she's thrilled to death to be able to have a hand in helping the first responders, and I think that's absolutely awesome to work that many years and then decide, I'm going to keep helping people. So both thank you and congratulations, Lou. I just think it's awesome. With that, we do have a executive session. No action will be taken, and we will leave right from there. So I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved?
Moved by trustee Frusaloni, seconded by trustee Garvey. Clerk, please call the roll. Oh.
Before you vote, we do need to indicate the purpose for the executive
sorry.
session, and that's the collective negotiating matters, section 2C2 of the Open Meetings Act.
Thank you for catching me on that. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Garvey.
Aye.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Gieser.
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye. Meeting is adjourned.
Are we staying in here?
I would think no. We're going in there, or are we staying?